Thank you for joining us. Brian Glenn right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, once again on the streets of DC, showing you what is going on right now. Ever since we've been here the last day or so, we've been showing you the security around the city. We've seen the fences that have been set up, the another walk around this area. Now, yesterday, we primarily focused on the White House area and all the logistics around that. Well, today we're going to take you on a tour of Pennsylvania Avenue down to the Capitol area. And of course, the Trump International Hotel is a very popular tour spot here in DC. As you can imagine, it is the Trump brand through and through, and that used to be an old, if I'm not mistaken, a post office that was there that he basically went in and renovated, and now it's a beautiful luxury hotel. I tried to go in earlier, and basically they're only allowing guests of the hotel and people that were invited for whatever reason to be there. So we are not allowed to go in, or we would definitely love to show you the hotel at this point. Okay, so what we're looking at now is up and down Pennsylvania Avenue. You've got these barriers. Now, earlier today, I was talking to some on Inauguration Day, this whole area would be shut off to pedestrians, that it was not allowed to, it was just basically completely shut off. I was just told about 10 minutes ago that that's not the case, that on Inauguration Day, they will allow people on the sidewalks here, but then once it reaches capacity, they will back that off and not allow access at that point. But so I'm getting two conflicting reports here. It is set up, if you will, to look like a parade route. That's what this is set up to look like. But I've been told earlier that the parade route will not pass in front of here, that it will primarily focus down in front of the Willard and just right out in front of the Department of Treasury, which is right down where down there. That is Freedom Plaza. I'm not quite sure exactly what those tents are for. You can't get to that area. There's a lot of places here in DC that are fenced off that are just for, I guess, military operations or whatever here in this area. So it's definitely a place that civilians like myself and even in the media, I guess, are not allowed to go to. So I don't really know what's going on down there, but I can tell you what's going on down here. And we'll walk and talk, and perhaps there's more people out today than there were last night. Obviously more people out now than there were this morning as well. I was able to walk a little bit today, and if you followed us on Facebook, you might have saw a little bit of that. Not a whole lot of people out this morning, but as the day has gone along, there's a lot of people that are very curious to what exactly is going on right now in Washington, D.C., as now we are standing right in the middle of Pennsylvania Avenue and 11th, and we will continue to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue to show you what this area looks like right now. Now, Gage, I do want to show these flags real quickly. When I walked out here this morning, and by the way, the flags look beautiful up and down Pennsylvania Avenue. They've done a great job really tying in a patriotic feel, if you will. But there's a second flag on there, and I was not familiar with that flag. And at first it raised a lot of questions, as you can imagine. I was told that is a flag of DC. So the flag of DC is displayed up and down Pennsylvania Avenue. Now, obviously, we're in Washington, D.C. It kind of makes sense to fly the flag, but is there any symbolism there? I know there's been a lot of talk and chatter about Democrats wanting to make D.C. the 51st state, so I don't know if that's a little bit of a symbolic gesture there or not. I don't want to try to guess on that. But anyway, beautiful shot right now looking towards the Capitol. Weather-wise, it's about par for this time of year in our nation's capital. Highs in the mid 40s, light wind, a little bit of a chill. Then once the sun goes down here in about an hour or so, it will dip down into the upper 30s and get quite chilly, if you will. But this is what it looks like. Now, I did a video yesterday, and I had mentioned that I felt like DC was one of the safest cities in America right now, due to the fact that you have thousands of troops, you've got thousands of Metro police, you've got transit police, you have state park police, you have Secret Service here. So there's a lot of law enforcement here. So when I announced that I was coming to DC just a couple days ago, I really got met with a lot of criticism about coming here, that it was going to be a dangerous situation. And I'm here to tell you right now, there's probably not a city in America that is as safe as Washington, D.C. I'm walking in the middle of Pennsylvania Avenue with thousands of armed security guards around us. I can't imagine this is a place right now that if you plan on coming to D.C. With any bad intentions, I don't think that would ever go anywhere in a direction that you'd want. There's a lot of security here. They have obviously beefed it up for the inauguration, which is a completely different conversation at this point, because we know that months ago, Biden publicly announced that he did not want a big public ceremony here in D.C. Didn't want that due to health concerns. But the infrastructure laid out right now suggests that we're going to have a massive amount of people coming to D.C. for an inauguration. So is this an overreaction to the events of January 6th? Is this basically scaling up for inauguration? Is this customary that we're just preparing for millions of people to come support the Biden-Harris administration? I don't know. But all I know is it's locked down, it's fenced up, and it's secure at this point. Now we are walking towards the Capitol. And what a great sight that is. And I was talking to somebody earlier about there's probably never time in history that we can walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, no traffic, and get these beautiful shots that we have right now. It is a very unique time at our nation's capital, and it's a time that I think none of us will forget. Obviously, the events of January 6th are tragic. We are not, as Trump supporters, we are not proud of that moment at all. President Trump has come out and condemned those acts multiple times. So obviously, this is not something that we want to remember a part of his history, but it happened, and very different scene today than it was on January the 6th. I put up on social media as well the accomplishments from President Trump over the last 4 years, and it really is remarkable. Our president continues to service in the Oval Office, working every day, working on policies, signing orders that make this country a better place to live. He's really been fighting for religious freedom and protecting our right to religion, and making groups, religious faith groups, easier to basically exist in the world as far as banking and funding and things like that. So he continued to fight for us, and he will go down as the greatest president, I believe, in U.S. history. He has done so much for this country, and it's very interesting. And I said this earlier today, there's so many people that are against this president that when you try to have an educated conversation about his accomplishments, they just refuse to listen to that. And it's not debatable. So I encourage you to go to our Twitter, RSBN, on our Twitter page, or you can follow me as well, at Brian Glenn TV. Go to my Twitter. I put that up. It's a great conversation starter for people that perhaps don't know much about the president other than what they've been told by the mainstream media. And at that point, we pretty much know the narrative there. We definitely appreciate you guys watching all of our videos. We have been putting up some tremendous numbers in terms of views. So we certainly appreciate that. That's an idea of the fencing. Now, earlier today, if I'm not mistaken, that section up to there was not there. So they've extended that fence line a little bit more. And they have done so much. When you think about the logistics of all of this, of the man hours, the amount of money, resources it takes to do all this, they are definitely putting some people to work in this city. But what I want to talk about earlier is I know that there's so much misinformation online about what's going on in this city right now, and we just want to make sure that you're getting this is what it looks like, people. You've seen the posts, you've seen, and a lot of it could not even be pictures from this city. There's a lot of misinformation online, and we want you to do your homework. When someone sends you some kind of crazy message about, something that just seems absurd, I want you to stop and do your research and don't spread it, because that's very important that we do not spread misinformation of what's going on here in DC or perhaps what's going on here in the next couple of days. We want to make sure we keep everything factual and stop the spread of misinformation. Now, tomorrow could be a big day at the White House, which, by the way, tomorrow is National Popcorn Day, so maybe tomorrow is the day you grab that popcorn. But there's been a lot of talk about all this declassification of some documents, and people are asking for it. And, of course, that would be a huge story if that was, in fact, happen tomorrow. And, of course, if it does, we will be there to bring that to you live. That is the Archives of the United States of America. I'm always at awe when I see the architecture of these buildings and the detail of everything. I really am. No matter how many times I've walked by them, you just stop and you look and you just admire the construction of these buildings and just what it took to build them and what they mean to us today and what they symbolize. I will say this: we've traveled through Right Side Broadcasting, covering all of these events for the Trump rallies. We've seen some amazing cities, everything from a small Lansing, Michigan, to a very big Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And DC is like no other city that we've been to, architecturally speaking, historically speaking, just a wonderful city. And we are glad to be here to cover all the events that's taking place right now. You don't see a whole lot of buildings boarded up at this point of this part of the town, rather, because it is more of your office buildings, museums. But the buildings that are here, that are commercial, definitely have been boarded up. We've seen that really from day one when we got here in early November, that businesses were taking precautionary efforts to secure their property. And this was all because of some sort of, riot that would happen after all the election results would be certified and all that process. So obviously we didn't see that happen here. And you might have had a few skirmishes, but just the riots that I think they were anticipating that we might have saw this summer across many cities here in the U.S. We just didn't see it, so, which is a good thing. Absolutely a good thing. I will say this, walking around Gage, is I have not seen anyone here that has said, "Oh, Right Side, oh, I love you guys." It's a different crowd here at this point. I don't know if your average Trump supporter, your average MAGA supporter, I don't think they're here. And we have not been stopped really one time since we've been walking around. And that's, I think that's just a good indication of the person that is here. I don't think it's a typical Trump supporter at this point. Maybe that's a incorrect statement to make, but usually we do get recognized out and about, and I just haven't seen it yet. How you doing? Good. All right, so there's a look at some of the. Yes, sir.
Oh man, if I've been
Okay.
I've been getting videos since the 6th. I've been here since the 6th.
Okay, you're not going to.
God.
No, I want you to come on. I had just told we're live right now.
Can we do the back of the Capitol?
Well, let's do that. Let's do that.
An art director?
I love it.
We gotta have location.
I had just told our viewers, location. I just told our viewers that it's really ironic how the last 2 days we've walked around and nobody has recognized us, and we don't think the traditional Trump supporter or RSBN viewer is here, and then this guy walks by.
Undercover.
I couldn't have planned that any better. But what are your thoughts?
Oh boy. I've got to show. Do you need my name and
well, if you want to tell me where you're from, that's great. But
okay, I'm South New Jersey. I got here on the 6th. I got a show called Mustang Medic, and it used to be about cars. Oh. And on the 6th, I became an amateur journalist because I've been here since the 6th, reporting on the ground, trying to show what's truly happening in Washington, D.C.
I love it. You're a true patriot down here.
Thank you.
What's your thoughts seeing all this military build up, the fences, the infrastructure? I mean, is that?
Yeah, I think it's prudent. I mean, if you've got a threat, I mean, whether it's a credible threat or not, because if they're saying there's going to be an attack on the Capitol, we have to take precautions, of course. Mm-hmm. It was completely peaceful. There was nothing going on. There are a lot of white vans driving around. You can see videos on Mustang Medic where I'm showcasing those. But I felt what got me inspired to basically give up my car career of 7,000 videos about Ford Mustangs and just go full on political and blow up my Apple and my Ford
and lose all kinds of friends, right?
Well, no, actually, I lost some subscribers. Was that the narrative was not true? So the second day I was here at the Washington Monument, the day after the event, as we'll call it. And there was like 7 people here, and everybody's kind of looking around, and they're peaceful, and they're talking to each other. And I was watching Fox News, and Fox News is like reporting attack on the Capitol, and they just kept playing those videos of the Capitol attack. And it was terrifying. My family members and everything, they think I'm absolutely crazy. I've been here since the 6th. What are we on now, the 17th? Mm-hmm. And I planned on only being here 2 days. But I really saw the narrative being built. I saw crowds of people that were kept behind fences with police behind them and cameras, major networks all around them. And I was like, look at those optics. So I did videos from a distance and zoomed in to show what you're seeing on TV is a simple crop in of what they want to say as a message. They're not showing peace in the streets of Washington, D.C.
And a lot of prayer, too. We've seen that. I mean,
I'm a Christian, and that's the only reason I'm here is because God keeps telling me to stay here. I'm walking around at night. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm just like, you can't, how should I say this? I was around people that were doing Trump flags and everything after the event, a couple days after, and the hate that I saw thrown at them. Mm-hmm. I've had people come up to me and say I'm a terrorist. I've had people come up to me and say, get effing Cruz out of office. I'm looking, I'm going, I'm from South Jersey. I'm not from Texas. You're stereotyping me. But I said something that I think is really huge because I called it the Great Awakening. And I've been praying for a year that we see the injustice that's going on, that we see the fraud, and now it's just so plain in our faces that now the average American citizen has to go to 9 different sources to try to discern what the truth is because of the narrative. And I've been interviewed by New York Times for an hour interview yesterday, CNN, and I've talked to people that have TDS and all that stuff, Trump derangement syndrome, and we just have to listen to each other and try to understand each other. There's people that we both walked away in peace. They appreciated it because they've stereotyped Trump supporters as fanaticals. But we're all just You know?
I made a claim earlier that before you spread stuff online, make sure it's credible. Make sure the person who sent it to you, you know them, they're trustworthy, because there's so much misinformation that floats around. I mean, you and I, I'm sure you've gotten the same DM messages that I've gotten.
Actually, no,
and
I'm undercover. I don't know why.
Well, stay like that. Stay like that. But I think it's important that we don't spread misinformation, because it just builds into this frenzy.
Absolutely.
And really sets up these mis-expectations of what really can happen now. Now, we all, I know that the military presence here, and a lot of people have these conspiracy theories that it's not over till it's over. And of course, tomorrow, Monday, being one of the final Mondays of his administration, could he declassify?
He has started declassifying documents. And I actually have talked to federal agents direct, so it's one person out. I mean, it's hearsay because I've heard about it, but there's some I could tell you what I've heard on the ground from actual federal people. I don't know if you want to hear.
We'll talk offline, because I don't want to. Only because of restrictions on the internet, I don't want us to get flagged for any reason. So.
And it's a miracle. It's a miracle of God that I'm still online when you see my videos at Mustang Medic. I mean, I'm serious.
Mustang Medic. All
Mustang Medic. MEDIC.
I love it. Oh, real quickly before I let you go, greatest Mustang that ever built was what year and why?
69, Boss, 428, because it's a fastback. And it's a Boss.
There you go. All right, so you're here, you're walking around, you're talking to people. I mean, we have a nice lady here. I don't know if she wants to come on camera or not.
A lot of people observe me when I'm talking, and they get in line to give me interviews. I've been
You're signing autographs later, right?
No, I'm serious. Well, I've actually been recognized in the streets by people that recognize me as Mustang Medic, which I usually only get recognized at car shows, Mustang shows.
Right.
But I'm not exaggerating. I've been here since the 6th, and I've been interviewed by about 18 countries. And I just keep speaking this truth. What unifies us as Americans is we want the truth. Mm-hmm. The problem is if we are only getting a message from one source, or the algorithms are steering us to the source that we want to hear, so we stay online to do more, watch more advertising, that's where we get divided. And COVID being weaponized for the past year, isolation is bad for people. We are supposed to do this.
We're supposed to interact with people.
We're supposed to interact. We're supposed to talk. And I think everybody's going hyperbolic. They're just like reacting. And this is what I say about the Great Awakening with white people and black people in America, and black people, colored people, whatever is the preferred term, but I go white, black, is I call it the Great Awakening, because black people in this country have been persecuted by the optics of looking like that they're criminals. It's not safe to be around a black person. Well, guess what? In 2 hours, 65 million people have become terrorists. You know what the first question is they ask me in the interview? Every country? Were you in the Capitol? So there were 500,000 people here on the 6th. Somehow they all got in the Capitol. Yeah. So we're all being stereotyped.
Well, that's the misinformation that's out, because
I've had people yell at me I'm a terrorist. I'm like, I'm not a terrorist. I'm just a person.
We've been covering President Trump for years. We've been to dozens, if not hundreds, of rallies. They are basically half prayer rallies and half rallies for the country. So if people that would go out to a Trump rally and actually see Trump supporters, they will find out that they are not just white men, which they really typically think it's just white America.
And for me, I mean, I'm an evangelical Christian, so I'm usually the minority in my churches. So for me, I think I've got a unique perspective. But if you look at me, I'm some like racist from Texas, and I'm like, I'm from South Jersey, right?
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate your time here. Well, I appreciate that, and it's ironic that I was just talking about that and you walked by.
Yeah. And can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
It's going to be like a support thing. I'm going to sound like a politician.
Okay.
But straight up, if you guys want to support Mustang Medic in my new career, Mustang Medic on YouTube, and everything else will be obvious. If you guys want to support me financially,
I'll send you the advertising bill. How about that?
I'll take an advertising bill.
No, that's great. No, we appreciate you coming out here, and I'm sure we'll bump into you.
Well, God knows how I'm going to make money now.
You got cars. I don't know why. Hey,
trust me, it's over.
No, I'd be driving cars right now. Trust me.
Apple's not going to like me.
Well,
Apple did the parlor.
If I could work on cars right now, I would work on them, because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, right now in our country, we are dealing with broad stereotypes. We have to talk to people, we have to listen to people, and we have to not be violent. I've
said that repeatedly.
I against any violence in the Capitol. There should be no violence on either. I don't like saying either side. As Americans, we should not be getting violent. We need to talk to each other. We need to listen to each other, and therefore we will have the Great Awakening. Oh, that was good. Wasn't that good?
That was a good close right there. I think you should get into podcasting or something like that. I think you have a future of that. I think you have a future.
Take your job.
All right. At this point, little sleep and low pay. How about that? Thank you so much. That's a great example. Would you like to make a couple comments? No, that's okay. I'm just glad you're here. Glad you're here. Yes, ma'am. Okay. We're live right now. This is Right Side Broad. No, that's okay. Right Side Broadcasting. Absolutely okay. We're just showing the streets and going live. You can Right Side Broadcasting. You can look us up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yes, ma'am. We're more than happy to walk with us. We're just walking down here. All right, that was interesting, and that's a great example. Well, while we're on to fundraising, I will say this: we want to thank our good partner in all of this is our good friend Mike Lindell from MyPillow.com, and he has been such a supporter of RSBN for a long time, and has really helped us keep this ship going forward. So I encourage you to go to the website right now, mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com. Go onto the website and find something you like. If it's perhaps one of those unbelievable pillows, or perhaps you need to upgrade your bed and get some Giza sheets, or perhaps your dog would like to sleep a little better at night, get your dog a dog bed as well. But go onto the website, shop away, and if you will, put in the promo code RSBN. That's RSBN at checkout, and you'll get up to 66% off your entire order. That is something that Mike has done for our viewers, and we certainly appreciate him doing that. So go to MyPillow, mypillow.com, shop away, and get up to 66% off. So your entire order. But we certainly appreciate the guy, and how ironic that he walks up during all of this. But what a character he was. But we certainly appreciate his time. And there was a crowd that was gathering behind us, but no one appeared to want to come on camera at that point, which is understandable. Okay, if you're just now joining us, we're live, walking down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the Capitol. We are now on the corner of Pennsylvania and 6th, and just a beautiful area in our nation's capital. It really is. I mean, this is, I was just telling Gage, our photog here, if there's ever a time to come to DC and be able to kind of walk the city and look at all the buildings, it's now. What a beautiful, beautiful time to do it. So much history here, so much to see. Now, obviously, a lot of these places are closed, so you're not going to be able to go in these museums. But man, just a beautiful city there, and just a great place to visit. So, unfortunately, we're here at a time in our nation's capital that there's a lot going on, so we're not able to visit some of these museums and stuff. But what a great city. We are also, I want to encourage you, I talked about Mike Lindell over at MyPillow. If you want to go see the interview that I did with Mike, it is on our Facebook page, and I believe it might be on Twitter and Rumble. You will not find it on YouTube, so you'll just have to go to our Facebook page and check it out. So go look at it now. I was able to talk to him about why he was at the White House the other day. He shared some information of why he was meeting with President Trump. He also shared some information on the future of the media and censorship. And so, this is a very interesting time that we live in. When you look at the size of audience that we have here, it definitely gets the attention of a lot of people and a lot of tech companies. And so we must continue to push forward for anti-censorship action, and we must be prepared to really stand up and fight for our freedom of speech. Now, we've seen what Twitter and Facebook has done to certain conservative outlets. We've seen what they've done for the president, and we certainly want to continue to hopefully push forward to protect our right to do just what we're doing right now and showing you what's going on. Now, this is one of they're basically going to build this new type of fence that we'll see down here when we get to the Capitol. It's why we need a secondary fence, I don't know, but you're going to see this same fence set up down here by the Capitol as well. A lot more people walking around now than was out here earlier. Quite a bit of people actually. Earlier to this morning, didn't really see anybody walking around other than military personnel. But a lot of people want to come down here, walk around, take a look at what's going on. They see so much on social media, and they see so much in the news, and they just want to see for themselves and come down here, and really come down here while you can, because like I've said earlier today, I heard that this area would be completely closed off for the inauguration ceremony, and then I've heard that it was going to be open. So at that point, I don't know exactly what to believe at that point. Also, if you're curious about what the National Mall area looks like, I was told this morning, and I walked over there to confirm, that the National Mall is completely shut off. It is basically set up as kind of a military, I don't want to say a base camp, because that alludes to other things, but it is temporarily shut off. It's 100% closed off, so there's no access to that as all. Here's that secondary fencing we were talking about, that you're seeing up and down Pennsylvania Avenue. The level of security here is incredible. I was talking to an officer earlier, and he said, well, this is what the mayor of DC wanted. And that was his comment. And I guess that would kind of, maybe allude to the fact that, the events on the 6th this is a reaction to that, not wanting, anything to happen again, but it's just an extreme measure of security here at our nation's capital. Beautiful shot you're looking at right now. Props to our camera guy. Gage is doing a phenomenal job walking with this camera and keeping these shots nice and steady for you, because it's not easy. We've done a lot of walking, and of course we want to make sure we give you the best quality, and that's exactly what you're getting right now. But what a beautiful shot tonight. There's something about the Capitol, and it's just the way the light hits the top, especially at sunset. It's an amazing, and that's an amazing view. But that is very much the different view that we saw. Absolutely, go ahead. Thank you. Just what a sight that is. And of course, as we get closer, that is as close as we can get. They do have the entire perimeter of the White House, completely shut off. If you're just now joining us and you're like, hey, I just found Right Side Broadcasting, I was told about you guys, I just stumbled across you. Welcome to our channel. We have been covering President Trump since 2000. Oh wow, I would say 2015, the campaign trail, and of course, once he got inaugurated back in 2017, we were there, and we've been covering President Trump from day one, and we're glad you're here. We are viewer supported. Of course, we've got partners like MyPillow, but we are viewer supported. So if you like what you see, and you like the content that we're showing you, and you like to support all of our efforts, we've got a team of people across the U.S. contributing to our content. Please go to our website, rsbnnetwork.com/donate. The information likely is on your screen. Please go and donate what you can. And if you say, look, Brian, I've got $10, $5, $20, whatever that amount is, it all adds up, and it all goes to fighting for conservative values and patriotic agendas for this country, and it continues to enable us to do what we do. For all of that, go to rsbnnetwork.com/donate. rsbnnetwork.com/donate is the website. Go to it and donate, and you can simply go and connect to us as well through social media, and all the information is on our Facebook page as well. So go to RSBN Network, Right Side Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of our contact information is there as well. Please go online and give what you can. We want to make sure that we remain strong, and we remain continue to bring you all this information. I'm just reading on my phone. I had gotten an update. I'm going to make sure it wasn't anything that I didn't want to miss here. But anyway, here we go. So this is pretty much the extent of where we can stand. Now, earlier, if we were to go on that sidewalk, we could walk a little bit further. But as far as in the street, this is what it is. You have a couple media outlets here setting up, doing some live shots. You have a guy over off to our left doing something, some people behind us. This is the spot that everyone wants to set up and report from. As you can see, there are some National Guard troops back there, a couple transport units as well. I did see a fairly large bus pull up this morning, and that's where the troops got out of. I don't know if they're being bussed in from certain areas or perhaps even from their hotel, their housing area, but that's kind of where they've been offloaded. But yeah, this is it. This is the I want to say the corner of Third and Pennsylvania, and this is the stop. This is where this is about as far as we can get. And from what I was told earlier, there will be any pedestrians in this area come inauguration. That's what I was told earlier today. And then, of course, about 30 minutes ago, we were told that wasn't the case, that people would be allowed to stand on the sidewalk now. I don't think the parade is coming this way. I was told it wasn't. I was told it was a very short parade, and it would mainly be confined around the Willard Hotel area. So definitely wouldn't come all the way down here. Go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. rsbnetwork.com/donate. I want to make sure I get that website correct. I apologize if I misspoke on that. So please visit us at rsbnetwork.com/donate. rsbnetwork.com/donate. And also visit our friends over at mypillow.com. As Mike Lindell has been so gracious to be able to share a lot of those proceeds to help us out. So that's very, very important that happens. Point.
You need a video, but do you really want to deal with all this?
You know, I'll say it 1,000 times. When you look at the infrastructure laid out here, it's amazing. It's something that I don't think was remotely like this back in January of 2017 for the Trump administration. Don't think we saw that set up like this, but this is clearly a response to protecting people. I tell you, if we want to, Gage, we could walk that way, and we'll walk alongside, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. But we did want to give you a complete bird's eye view of what's going on here in D.C. along this area, because there's so much misinformation. There's so many theories of why there's so much presence here, and we want to make sure that we bring all of this to you, and so you can see for yourself exactly what's going on. Now, I will remind you, we have a team that will be in the West Palm Beach area on Wednesday when Trump makes his arrival there in South Florida. So we will bring you all the happenings there as well. So you can look forward to that. And we're also trying to bring you coverage with Trump leaving here on Wednesday. So hopefully we can bring you whatever happens with that. We'll be able to bring that to you live as well. And then, of course, Monday, Tuesday, hoping for some content from the White House. Obviously, if we get these documents be released, you will be the first to find out about that as well. And also remind you of our social media handles. You can follow us on Twitter. Just look up Brightside Broadcasting, and of course we're on Instagram, and obviously on Facebook and YouTube. Hey, this is kind of a nice different vantage point here. This is a little bit, this is on the back side of what we just were looking at, and we've got some troops ahead in front of us. Gives you a different vantage point of the level of just the logistics of the fencing and just what this area looks like. It's incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. And when you hear these stories and you see these threats of someone threatening this area, I just cannot imagine that would ever happen. So please, if you see information about some type of violence going on, I can assure you right now in DC, that is not the case at all. Very different scene here. Very peaceful, very relaxed. Like I said earlier, this could be the safest city in America at this point, with all the presence that we have right here for our military. It's simply unbelievable. A lot of people gathered here, taking videos, taking selfies. Like, this is something that you don't see all the time on the streets. I mean, this is history in the making. This is certainly not what we wanted to see right now. We wanted to a little bit more of an open situation where we're not completely fenced in and have this very guarded area that we're in right now. A lot of foreign press here as well. I was walking around earlier talking to some people from all across the country. Of course, we saw that during the election as well. On the media risers, there were people from Sky News and news from all around the world. Let's take a look at the National Guard real quick, if we can get a shot of that down the street there. I would probably, just eyeballing it right now, it goes, well, all the way past what the first stoplight that you see, but the second red light way down there is all lined with National Guard, are all out here. And think about this for a second. This area you're seeing inside this fenced, you can't get to it. This is completely blocked off from civilians. So think about the added security that's here. Like, we cannot get over this 8-foot fence here. But I mean, there's so much security here in front of the Capitol. It's hard to explain. I mean, you see numbers. I saw numbers today that said 30,000, and I don't know how accurate that is, but I know that at one point it was 20, and I know that was reported to 20,000. So maybe they have added a little bit more troops to the mix. Let's see if we can get up close to this fence, and we'll show you. There's a couple Humvees behind there as well. We saw multiple transport haulers as well through here. We saw multiple military vehicles to transport people. A lot of those small gators that are able to transport troops around the city. So this is what you see. I mean, this is the infrastructure. I mean, we can look down here. This is still, I guess, this is third in Pennsylvania. There's still a ton of presence, and it's blocked off all the way on the other side of the Capitol. We haven't tried to walk over there, but I was told that it is blocked off as well back that way. If you're just now joining us, welcome. We are live in front of the Capitol on this Sunday afternoon, giving you a live look of what's going on right now here in Washington, D.C. We appreciate you joining us. We have added so many subscribers just in the last week or so. So welcome. We have a lot of new people to our channels. We certainly appreciate you joining us. And of course, we are viewer supported. Go to rsbnetwork.com/donate, rsbnetwork.com/donate to help us fund and keep providing you content. The numbers we've been getting on our videos is huge. I think we had 4 million yesterday combined on our platform watching, and that is more than a lot of network get on broadcast, more or less on digital. So we have definitely have expanded the reach of our platform, and it's really due to you guys like yourself that take our videos, you share them, you tag a friend in them, and we certainly appreciate all of that. That's helps us grow the network to where we have it today. And of course, Joe and Bridget back at the corporate office have been working long hours editing all of this, getting these servers up, getting all this information out, and it's a lot of dedication and a lot of effort to bring all of this to you. And we want to thank those guys back at the corporate office for making it happen. And of course, we will continue to be on the streets. We'll continue to show you what's going on here in DC as we go into these final days of what has been a very successful Trump administration. The list of accomplishments, I could stand here for 2 hours and rattle them all off to you. It has been an amazing 4 years, and we'll have to see what the next 4 years looks like under the new administration and some of the policies. And of course, we will continue to be here, and we will continue to press on and ask the questions. And you saw during the Obama administration, it's very much a love fest for Obama for 8 years, and they didn't really challenge Obama a lot for the last 8 years. The media has been a very different scene than it has been traditionally, and so of course, being a conservative news outlet, I don't know what our future is to be able to cover a Biden-Harris administration. So that's going to be interesting to find out exactly how that works. I think more than ever, conservative outlets like Right Side need to continue to push forward and get the truth out, because now more than ever, we're in a tipping point in this country as far as the media is concerned, and people are looking for some alternative ways of getting their information. And we've seen it. We've seen them turn off, obviously, even Fox News, which we thought was the power force, and the only one of the few conservative voices, definitely in television. So we've even seen their ratings drop. We've seen talk radio go up across the country because people, talk radio is one of the last true conservative voices as far as radio goes. So we've even seen success for that, but we will continue to be here and bring you the information as we see it, and give you, I guess, an unfiltered look at what's going on in our country. And one of the things I wanted to bring up was yesterday I got hit with the notion that I said Washington, D.C. is one of the safest cities in America. And if people want me to stand here right now and tell you that my life is in danger, and I feel like my life is in danger, that is an outright lie. That's not happening, and I'm not going to tell you that, okay? So this is a very safe city, and we have a ton of military here right now. So the conspiracy theorists that say that there's violence and bloodshed going on in D.C., I don't see. Obviously, we don't see it. We'd be showing it to you right now if it was, and we feel very safe. And there's nothing in my remote imagination would ever suggest that would happen here. So we'll see about going forward. Just reading some notes here. I'm going to make sure that we thank all of you guys right now for watching us and tuning in and sharing these broadcasts. We continue to grow our network on Twitter. We continue to grow our network on Instagram and Facebook, and it's very important that we get all this information out on social media. Let me step aside and let you look behind me. Once again, we got men and women of our military here, and sacrifices. We've got troops from all around the country right now. It is unbelievable how many people are here. I talked to some troops earlier. A lot from Texas are here, a lot from North Carolina, California. There's just a lot of deployment troops from all around the country been brought in to secure our nation's capital. And we are glad they're here. I mean, We wish it wasn't under these circumstances. We wish it was more of a celebratory, I guess, stance rather than a defensive mood. But we certainly appreciate them being here and showing their support for this country. And hopefully we can all, and when this is all said and done, we can all go back to our homes and with no events had happened. Let's see if we can show these vehicles over here. I know that a lot of people like to see some of the military Hummers and transport vehicles, and as you know, this is a long staple of the U.S. military, the U.S. Humvee, AMC. If you're a car guy like me, this is a vehicle that I've always wanted to own. Would be a Hummer. So we'll take a look at that. It's here, and this is, this is what you see on the street right now. The Honda Accords have been replaced with Hummers because at this point, this is what you see on the streets right now. At our nation's capital. And I was saying earlier, if you have plans to come down here for the inauguration or just for just to sightsee, I highly encourage you to take the train into this area. Now, there's certain train stops that are not available at this point. You've got to, once you get on the train, they'll tell you certain stops are closed. But if you are coming this area, don't think you're going to take an Uber and get to your destination. You'll be dropped off blocks away from your destination, chances are. So just if you're coming in outside the area, I would drive as far as you can, then I would get on the metro and then take that into this area. That is pretty much the best way to get in, and then just walk from there. Our hotel, we came in the other night, we got in about 6:30 or 7 actually, and by the time we got to downtown, it was we had to get off at the metro and we had to walk about a mile to our hotel, and it was quite. That scene from the other night is very different than what we're seeing now. I mean, it seems like every day they add more and more security, and I was even told the press entry that we were at, that was even going to change in the next day or so. So this is a very fluid situation here in DC. They are definitely really adjusting the perimeters based upon, I guess, their intelligence and kind of what they want to secure, and maybe how many people they expect to come. They have been adjusting on that. So it's a very fluid situation. So if you are coming down here and you're seeing what we're showing you right now, it could look different tomorrow, and it could look different on Tuesday, and it would definitely look different on Wednesday. I can assure you for that. Okay, tell what we can do. We can turn around, maybe go back the way we came in, or perhaps we'll go back this way. There are some checkpoints all over the place. I was told, though, that on Monday that all of these checkpoints will have some type of security screening. I think there's only a couple here that have it, but they all will be set up. So there'll be more entryways to this area that have security screeners, not just one or two that are open now. That's why sometimes when you walk out, you're not as close that you want to be. But man, just unbelievable scene right here, right now. If you're just now joining us, we are live right here in front of our nation's capital on the corner of 3rd and Constitution here. And you kind of look at some of the National Guard that's been deployed here. The numbers are in excess of probably 20,000 plus, all over. Now, we didn't see it as much around the White House, and if you followed our live the other night, we were primarily around the White House area, and we didn't see a lot of the troop deployment there. But you are seeing that here towards the Capitol. Also, the National Mall has been closed completely off, and perhaps we can, when we walk back, we'll try to maybe show you there. That has been completely blocked off. There is no access to civilians in the National Mall area. Only military personnel, security personnel allowed in that area. So if you're planning to come down and see the National Mall, not going to happen. Not open at all. It's more of a, I don't want to use the word base camp, but that's where they're keeping a lot of the military. I saw restrooms and even like tents that might have been more like a dining tent perhaps. So That area is restricted from us. We can't even see it. There's no vantage point that's remotely close to where we can even show you that. Also, if you're just now joining us, I want to remind everybody to go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate, rsbnetwork.com/donate. Go to our website, check it out. We've got information on there, and of course an opportunity to donate to Right Side so that we can continue to bring you all of this coverage. And as I talked about earlier, the dynamics of media has changed so much, and we've seen the viewership on the mainstream media absolutely drop. And so people are wanting information. They're wanting to get not just information, they want to hear. There's a big difference in that. There's reality, and then there's just the reality that you want. We are showing you the reality, and if sometimes it may not be the reality that you want. And I'm not going to spread conspiracy theories on this network. We don't do that. We simply show you what's going on. So if you're looking for conspiracy theories, it's not going to happen here on this network. But we do want to show you exactly the reality of the situation. We've been doing this for a long time. And so I just encourage you, if you want to go to our website, go to rsbnetwork.com, and you'll get more information on exactly what we do. I would love to talk to somebody, people here, and see if I could find some civilians perhaps to talk to. A lot of people from the media all over, really a global media all over the world covering this story. Of course, this has been the biggest story, and we've seen that on the campaign trail. Media outlets from around the world covering this the presidential race in 2020, and of course now that the election is over, those media groups are still out covering this story because it is the biggest story in the world, and what happens here in the U.S. definitely has a lot of implications to many countries around the world. And of course, keep an eye on the markets. It hasn't been too volatile in the markets, but obviously with a change in administration comes a lot of political and a lot of monetary changes that involve with the Feds, with Fed chair changes. So a lot going on in the financial markets as well. So we will continue to keep you updated on any kind of massive breaking news from those markets as well. And I always tell people, last night we were walking around, we had some kids that were riding their bikes around us, and they were asking us about Trump. And they said that they walked by, and some people said that Trump claims this and Trump claims that. Is it true? And I will tell you this. I just want people to fact check when someone tells you something. Fact check it. Make sure it's true. And if you really want to get involved in your government, you really want to change the world around you. And I've said this for years. Go to your city, go to your city council, go to your school board, go to people, look at what's going on in your neighborhoods and start there. Go look at what's going on in your cities and start there. Make the change in your immediate neighborhood, and that can change your world. So I know it's easy to look at the big picture and the Congress and the Senate and the presidents, but start local. Start in your own backyard to make the world a better place, and you'll see that it'll make you happier in life, and you'll definitely make a difference in the world just starting in your own backyard. So let me step aside a little bit, show you a little bit more of what's going on behind us. Obviously, we're getting closer. It's 4:40 here, East Coast time. And so we got a sunset here shortly. It will get a little bit colder and a little bit darker. And of course, pre-military, that might be a concern. I know during all of the marches, we were always told to be off the streets at night just to be safe. But I don't think we have anything to worry about right now at all. Being on the streets here in D.C., it's a very, very safe place to be. I want to remind everybody once again, if you missed the interview with Mike Lindell, please go to our Facebook page. It is also on Rumble. You will not find it on YouTube. If I had a nickel for every DM that asked me where that video is on YouTube, I would have a lot of nickels. So please go to Rumble or go to our Facebook page. You'll see the interview we did there with Mike Lindell, and to kind of give you the cliff notes on that, he talked about the reason why he was at the White House the other day. on Friday, meeting with President Trump for about 15 minutes in the Oval Office, and talked about, laid out his evidence and what might have happened in the 2020 election, and talked about that. He also shared his thoughts on censorship and how even his company, MyPillow, like most conservative companies, get attacked by the cancel culture mob that want to shut him down due to his political and religious beliefs. And so he shares his thoughts on that, which, brings me to faith here for a second as we stand here on a Sunday afternoon. Faith is so important right now, and I just want to emphasize that if you have times of stress and anxiety and difficulty times, I just want to remind everybody to stay strong in your faith. And if you're someone who's never been a person of faith or a belief in a higher power, I just challenge you at this point to reach out to a friend, find a church that's based on the Bible, and try to find comfort in that, because there's a lot of comfort knowing that God is in control. God is the ultimate. He is the ultimate king. He is the ultimate president. He is the one in charge of all of this. So perhaps things did not go your way politically, and you find yourself really with a high level of anxiety and a lot of anger. We understand that, but you must put your trust in God. And I just encourage everyone right now to turn to faith, turn to prayer. We've got a lot of people that this video affects, and a lot of people said, I get a lot of DMs that say, Brian, thank you for suggesting prayer. I need to get back into prayer, because that's where you find peace. That's where you find peace. So when you put your trust in the government, when you put your trust in people in the government will let you down. That is a fact. God will not let you down. God will not allow you to suffer. So I just want to suggest to everybody right now to please put your faith in God, put your faith in the Bible. There's plenty of Bible applications on your phone. You can go to YouTube and find them as well. So I just want to encourage everybody on this Sunday afternoon to please turn to faith, and do not be stressed, do not have anxiety, do not be angry, as find comfort in the Lord. And I just want to make sure that we emphasize that. Good picture there. Gage is doing a fine job shooting through this fence, showing a little bit of the infrastructure set behind there. Troops out here, very friendly, and we've earlier was able to talk to a couple of them, find out what they're here. I mean, think about this for a second. These individuals have left their family. They have packed up to come out here, and they've left their normal life to come here and protect our nation's capital. So they're in this just like we're all in this, and we all need to show our troops support and prayers for everyone that's protecting our nation's capital. And prayers for our Secret Service, prayers for our Metro Police, prayers for our Transit Police. Everyone who's out here right now needs your prayer and support, and definitely don't want to, we want to make sure everyone is safe and secure, for sure. Also, if you're just now joining us, let us know where you're watching us from. I always love to see the different cities and different states that you're watching us. Of course, we've added so many subscribers over the last month or so. If you're watching us from a different country, perhaps, let us know where you're watching us. A lot of people from the UK have been tuning in to Right Side Broadcasting, people in France, Germany, so we definitely appreciate that. Talked to a lady yesterday from Puerto Rico on the air, so perhaps you're watching us from Puerto Rico. Let us know. And comment down below, and definitely share this broadcast with a friend. And as a reminder, you can go to our website, rsbnetwork.com. That's rsbnetwork.com. And if you feel led to donate, you can do that as well at rsbnetwork.com/donate, and donate what you can. We certainly appreciate it. I would, at this point, get on the super chats on YouTube. You can donate there as well. I don't have that pulled up on my phone because I'm trying to look at a news feed here, so I don't want to get distracted by that, but you can definitely donate there as well. We just appreciate everyone's support with Right Side Broadcasting. So I'll tell you what, if you want to go ahead and start walking back this way, we'll wrap things up. And as a reminder, Tomorrow and Tuesday, we're hoping to bring you some coverage from the White House as things might develop on what could be a very busy Monday there in our nation's capital. So we'll see how that plays out. And then on Wednesday, President Trump's arrival there in West Palm Beach, we will be there as well, bringing you the coverage there. And perhaps we are working on it. God willing, we'll be able to show you the departure from President Trump from Washington as well. We're walking back towards Freedom Plaza. Very much this scene, fencing on both sides, limited access, a lot of police presence. Just definitely a safe and secure and really quiet scene. And DC is a very quiet city right now. You don't see a lot of anything going on. All right, so I turn it back around this way. As a reminder, go to our website, go to our social media pages, and share this broadcast. We want to make sure we get this information out to as many people as possible so we can let you know the truth of what's going on. I'll end you on this shot there at our nation's capital from DC, Sunday afternoon. Please visit our website, rsbnetwork.com. That's rsbnetwork.com. Follow us on social media. You can follow me on social media as well at Brian Glenn TV. That's BrianGlenn TV. Brian Glenn TV. Until next time, from our nation's capital, Brian Glenn, Right Side Broadcasting. Be safe, everybody. Goodbye, and God bless.